See how long this lasts. Diddy. What's up, people? Ain't seen y'all in a minute. The dribble has been working diligently, and this discussion was put off for a few days because I was working. Make sure y'all go to the podcast and get the latest on all streaming sites. And shout out to the opioid era. They put me in one of these. I don't promote drugs or anything like that, but I do promote the opioid era. So I had to wait until the game went off to get on here, man. I was hoping to get on here in better spirits, but we gonna be all right. Y'all come on in here though. Like the video. Boom, 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 boom. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Juan, what up? Good evening. As y'all come in, y'all like the video. The 6th region, what up? Plenty of days. I've been hitting y'all with them originals. Shout out to Knowledge the Pirate. Grindstone Fashions in DC. And the opioid era. Ambassador Rick. That video is doing real well. He said it's been a minute. I try to keep I try to make it a practice of having my reciprocals dominate my channel as opposed to y'all seeing me. So yeah, hip hop, sports, and fashion. He said I got the Grand Cranberry. Make sure you send some pictures into the Instagram page. The Fashion Bomb. Shout out to everybody grabbing them PA knits. We still around. The website, therealdribble.com. He said the King Khan doc is crazy. Did you misspell that on purpose? He said I'm gonna get the black, white, and mauve next trip. That's what's up. My man said that King Von doc was crazy. Yeah, he had to go. Doing too much. I need more of y'all to come in here. As y'all come in here, like the video and share it to y'all Twitter, Facebook, and all of that. Is there a manhunt for Jonathan Majors? We're going to get to that. Pee Wee Mac, what's up? I was trying to tell you months ago. Trey Bucks, what you was trying to tell me months ago about the documentary or about him? He said, what was the King Von documentary on? Trap Lore Ross on YouTube. He said, I ain't gonna lie, I started thinking the same thing. Yeah, King Von was a demon straight up. What's your problem with Meek Mill standing with Robert Kraft? I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Well, I can get to that right now. If he ain't standing next to people of color, how can he go and show any empathy or interest, furthermore, in the Holocaust? We've been under Holocaust conditions here in North America for 600 years. How could he even... I know the nature of a monkey, though. Meek's a monkey. He's a monkey. He started out a monkey. He's a monkey. You go back to that from which you came. Harlem Shakur said it's long as hell. You watched the whole thing? Yeah, over a period of 3 days, I watched the whole thing. I believe I digested it. I got it. Damn, the title say Lil Tim did the world a favor. I rock with the dribble. Detroit rock with you too. Lil Tim definitely did the world a favor. He did, and he gave warning. If you watch the documentary, he made a post on Twitter, I believe, that says, niggas in Chicago better leave Quando Rondo alone. That's all he said. That's all he said. And then he put forth action. But he said the documentary was crazy. It was beyond crazy. I got a few things I want to say about the documentary. Um, Something that I wasn't aware of, and it made me shake my head. Everybody that was on there had good music. Everybody that was on there had good music. So let's dispel the opinion the drill music ain't no good. Some of that shit is hot. A lot of it is hot. It is. I never heard Crazy Story before. I had to go listen to all the crazy stories. I had to catch up. I'm slow, I'm old. I'm not old. I'm vintage and I'm not into murder and shit like that. So it's funny that this shit was going on right under my nose. And I wish I had got some of them goddamn millions and millions of goddamn views. But I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't. And it didn't really interest me. It didn't. But he had to go. He had to go. There was proof on the documentary that he had to go. He said, I told you, bro. Yeah, there was proof on the documentary that he had to go. There was a scene where he had a little baby, and the little baby had a squirt gun or something like that. And he was teaching the little baby to basically shoot, kill, telling the baby, boom, boom, boom. That's how you do that. When you get to that point, when you get to that point, now you're a fucking problem. You're a problem now. You're a cancer. You're a sick cancer. Influencing adults is one thing, but choking the life, creativity, and future out of a child is totally unacceptable. It's on tape. If you go watch the documentary, you're gonna see it with your own eyes. You can like this nigga didn't put no basketball in a kid's hand. You want better for your children than, the circumstances that you come up under. So if he come up under killing and shit like that, you would think that he would want a child to have a better life. You feel me? You would think that he wanted a child to have a better life. He said he was rich putting out hits. I didn't understand the fascination with him. The whole time this is von 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 von. I didn't understand what the fascination was, but I get it. And I just want to say this. King Von was Chicago's dirty laundry being aired for everybody to see. There's a King Von in other cities. In Detroit, there was a dude named Kurt McGirt, and there's several of them in Philadelphia. I said this already. I was in jail with a bunch of King Von type niggas. Bunch of skinny, ruthless motherfuckers. When they get to jail, they cease that shit. They stop that shit because you don't got your hammer with you anymore. And you might be in jail with some of your victims' family, and you get back to the fact that you're only 120 pounds and shit. That's neither here nor there. I'm just gonna tell you, I've been incarcerated and confined. He said Vaughn was known for fighting in jail. That nigga too fucking little, yo. What the fuck is you talking about? Y'all be all caught up in the wrong shit, man. Y'all be caught up in the wrong shit, man. Like I said, I was incarcerated with niggas just like that. Get a hammer and flip some shit over with. They'll flip some shit over. But all of that, what he was beating on, too fucking little, yo. Too fucking little. We seen this person. He said, not no grown man. Hell no, he wasn't whipping on no grown man. Hell no. But we seen him. We seen his figure. We seen his size. You ain't jumping on, beating on a bunch of motherfuckers at that size. Highly unlikely. Um, Getting back to his legend. He's just a skinny me type nigga. He's a skinny me type nigga. He said he was trying to be like his father. Whatever the fuck it was cancer, and it was affecting the rest of the world. It was affecting the rest of the world. He said he was scared of FBG Duck. I have to. He said I seen it up Rock. I seen it in every jail I was at. He said he was scared of FBG Duck. I have to say something about all of them before I go any further, right? Their music was good. Crazy Story was well written, well executed. Good song. It was. Um, FBG Duck's song, Chicago Legends, shows that he wanted it to be over with. And if you read the comments, people in the comments that was from, I don't know, Chicago or probably a part of the war, I believe they wanted it to be over with too, but you be in a situation where don't nobody want to say, let's piece it. So it continues to go on. But the song Chicago Legends, it touched me. Very, very, very dope song. It just, I was speechless after listening to it. I was speechless. Um, King Von benefited from being in a high profile situation, aligning himself with Little Durk. This is my opinion of it. Little Durk took somebody that was wild from his neighborhood and put him in a rap game. He took somebody that was wild from his neighborhood, the wildest nigga from around his way, and put him in a rap game. That's what he did. It was too much devilish shit going on, man. Let me get you up out of here. I don't go back and forth with people in my live streams. It's a button. I can just remove you and shit. He said Dirk got a bunch of Vaughns around him. Let me tell you why this ain't fair. Dirk is rich, right? He's rich. He's offering rewards to poor people. He's offering rewards to poor people to kill. These niggas that he's offering this shit to, go look at the documentary. Chains, pass out chains and shit. Bunch of poor retarded niggas and shit ain't never had nothing. Give him a chain. Oh, niggas eyes all big. Give him a chain. Give him $5,000, $10,000. These niggas ain't never had no money before. And they kill shit. Crash dummies. Certified crash dummies. Certified crash dummies. And they murder and kill shit. It's almost like taking advantage of them. It's almost like taking advantage of him. He said he wasn't no serial killer, though. I don't know what constitutes the title of declaring somebody a serial killer. I know he had to go. They public war, because I went and spoke to somebody about this. Them niggas basically live in the same neighborhood. That war, that's the same fucking neighborhood. That's the same fucking neighborhood. Just a couple of blocks separation. They like beefing with the niggas on the next block. There's something that's goes on in every city. They just happen to have an audience. And all of their dirty laundry that aired on the internet, now you got kids in the suburbs hiding in fucking trash cans trying to kill motherfuckers. You dig? King Von placed his spirit in children all over the world. You feel me? King Von and them is fighting a generational beef with some niggas. They've been beefing for generations, right? And he's placing his spirit through music in the children all over the world. So when you got a kid who has a falling out with his friend, you have a kid that's had a falling out with his friend that probably can be resolved, but because he been listening to fucking King Von, he's in the fucking bushes on the side of his friend's house. You feel me? He's in the bushes on the side of his friend's house trying to murder him. You feel me? Because some shit that he done digested from a fucking sociopath in a whole nother fucking city. He said that young man had young kids singing about death. You reap what you sow. Ain't no drugs in Chicago. It's just poverty and killing at a high rate. If you brag about bodies, you a killer. Chicago burbs ain't that safe, considering the project kids moved there. You still hear little kids singing "I'm not from 63rd." Yeah, he placed that in unsuspecting children, and now you got motherfuckers all over the world get popped because they digested this shit that's been going on in Chicago forever and shit. All of that, they made it the world's problem. They made it the world's problem. Everybody talking about ops now. Everybody talking about spending now. He said Chicago is a money-getting city. Don't sleep. My mother always told me words have meaning and speaking ills into existence is very real. My pops wasn't the best, but he always told me don't be a follower. When funeral homes refuse them, it's like, what the fuck? That and everybody smoking on ops. Now everybody's saying that dumb shit. The FBI not playing with Duck Case. If you watch the documentary, it was a blatant hit. They bragged about it afterwards. Um, he wasn't gonna be able to establish his supreme legend with FBG Duck around. That's how it appeared. Meanwhile, we ignore the OGs saying they used to find crates of guns. Our generation had respect for the dead. Labels put millions of dollars behind him to spread the message. Genocide, genocidal music, funded by record labels. I 100% agree with that. They make these guys high profile, put lots of money behind them so they can put out the death music. My man says Vaughn got busy in jail. Bony ass nigga don't pose no threat to no fucking body if he ain't got a gun, man. This is the real world we live in, man. Y'all need to stop that shit. Y'all don't hear co-signing this shit. Don't y'all know if somebody would have broke his jaw the right way, it might would have changed his fucking life? The new mayor of Chicago is going to create more Vaughns and FBG Ducks. They wilding out there. These fools think that spells come with wands and sparkly stars. FBG Duck was 6'4", 250. Vaughn didn't want it with him. Where is it safe to raise black children? In your home, but you got to be in control of the environment. Blame Act for making these types of people famous. DJ Academic didn't make them. He didn't make them niggas famous. Once Chief Keef came out, it was up. The 300 guys, it was up. They all started rapping one by one. Every week after that, Chief Keef kind of introduced people to the Chicago music underground. I highly suggest everyone to look up the documentary on YouTube about those isolated crates of guns in their alley. A lot of Von meat eaters, and none of these people even knew him. Yeah, it's a shame. King Von has some type of attraction or magnetism that has drawn him like a almost a cult follower, and it's kind of strange. People act like academics is Larry Hoover, like he started the GDs. I didn't think it can get any worse than the 80s, but they breaking records. I'm kicking your goofy ass out. C24. I'm kicking your goofy, immature ass out. Cause you talking about some shit that don't mean nothing. I holla at you. It's funny people wouldn't even want to hang around Vaughn in real life. Don't nobody want to hang around them type of niggas. Who want to hang around a motherfucker that's killing people and shit? Them niggas don't got no real friends and shit. They don't. They don't. The guys that he was giving 10,000 to kill motherfuckers, they might like him, but don't nobody want them type motherfuckers around. Academics made them famous by highlighting their beef. His channel, the Warren Chirac, did spread it around. But nah, you can't blame him. Listen to this goofy nigga. They killed his best friend, T. Roy. He really just avenged his death. The sad reality. His fucking friend was a serial killer too. His friend was a killer too, man. What the fuck is you talking about? These niggas don't need to be here and shit. One thing I know, God got a plan for you. And life will correct things. That's why they not here right now. That's the name of this video. Lul Tim did the world a favor. He had to put a stop to that shit, man. That nigga he would still be here. He would still be here turning it up. Didn't you hear Quando Rondo? He said, man, I thought the devil was trying to get me. He said, I didn't even know who he was. I thought it was regular people walking by. And I got sucker punched. I felt it was the devil trying to get me. It was. It was. Ain't that what he said? Man, I felt like the devil was trying to get me. He had to stop it. The universe humbled him because he couldn't humble himself. He would have been locked up. He had cases pending. To buy 2 houses in the hood ain't nothing. You drop 2 bodies, you a legend. Quando was dissing 63rd with Vaughn a year before. Yeah, it's on tape. It's on tape. Now let's talk about the aggravating circumstances. At the end of the day, these niggas was beefing about pussy. It got turned up when them girls got involved. Once them girls got involved, it turned it all the way up. Once the bitches get involved, it douses it douses the whole issue with fuel. Yup, yup. My man said Asian doll is a 5. It's funny you said that because I'm watching the documentary and they showed a video of her without makeup, and then they showed a video of her with makeup. And I asked my man, I said, "Yo, man, you think she fly? You think she bad?" And he couldn't even really say with a straight face. He couldn't say that she was cute with a straight face. Like she's very ordinary looking chick unless she got a bunch of fucking makeup on. And I'm like, so this is what they went through all of that about this. It's crazy. He said a 5 is generous. 90% of beef is over females. He said always about a broad. He said, nah, Asian straight. She's real ordinary, yo. Put on a bunch of makeup. put on a bunch of makeup and do her best to look like something. But yeah, that's what them niggas is beefing about. Basically, hood rats. I know a hood rat when I see one. You can call yourself Asian, Persian, all that shit. But I know a hood rat when I see one. That's a hood rat. Straight up. Straight. He said, he said, facts. I know about 10 Asian dolls. He said, look at Asian doll's stomach. Niggas is beefing over hood rats. Now, why did he feel it was necessary to go after Quando Rondo? Because he couldn't reach NBA Youngboy at the time, so he swung on Quando Rondo. But the root of it is pussy. A million homies are dead or locked up over females. As soon as you gone, she with your bro. He said her hips don't match her legs. That broad is basic. Vaughn was a bully all over a chick that's a 5 at best, and she admitted to having herpes. Shout out to Troy Ave. DeJounte Murray just had a baby by Jania NBA Youngboy BM that Lul Tim did a favor to the world. This shit would still be going on. I don't feel like they was the aggressor that night in Atlanta. When you keep on doing shit, man, it gets heavy, heavy, heavy. You keep building up, and before long, you got a big mess and it crash into your lap. It was really over young boy baby mom. She a 9. Lul Tim the real MVP. For a long time, I thought that some of the things that Charleston White was saying was extreme. But if you listen to Charleston White and the things that he was saying, I don't like to wish death on nobody, but King Von had to go. King Von had to go. King Von had to go. He was airing his dirty laundry on Twitter for the world to see, and it influenced a lot of people. It influenced society. To be fair, Quando homie's been dying since Bro killed Von, so it's smoke behind him. It's smoke behind all them niggas. They all going to the fucking hellfire for their devilish deeds and shit. It seem like some of you niggas encourage this shit or think it's cute. Don't you know this shit is going on in real life? It's not no sitcom or nothing like that. Just because you can follow along on the internet, this shit is real life for real. He said you was pushing Alpo hard. I wasn't fucking pushing no fucking Alpo. How can I push a nigga that's already ultra famous? How the fuck can how can I push an icon? Tell me that. Tell me that. How can I push an icon? Don't you know Alpo was orca big when he got here? He was orca big before he got on the internet. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And you see where he at. You see where he at. Music and entertainment has always glorified it. People think Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty. I don't think Tim killed Vaughn. For him to hit Vaughn at that distance that many times and not hit Quando, he have to be a trained shooter. My man said the police shot him. That makes a lot of sense. It's on tape. This nigga said the police shot him and it's on tape. He said he was too much, too influential. Two infant women. I never knew who was the pulse. He was the pulse of the problem. Lul Tim should be in the African American Museum. We're just having a discussion about this this very, very disturbing documentary about King Von. King Von was a very, very bad thing, yo. Very, very bad thing. Very devilish young man. Very, very devilish. People try to rationalize this type of behavior, saying, "Well, he came from certain type of circumstances." So, so, so. He said, "Did you see his tweets? He was a hooligan and saying, yeah, he was a very, very sick nigga. Talk about killing all day long, brag about his body count, and these is all black people that he was killing. When they showed all of those faces, when they showed all of those faces of the people that he allegedly killed or had some involvement with, y'all wasn't disturbed by that. Y'all didn't immediately say, this nigga ain't no fucking hero. This nigga not thorough. It looked the same way that they depict all of the kids from the Atlanta child murders when they talking about Wayne Williams. When they talk about King Von, they put a whole bunch of faces up there too and shit. Y'all wasn't bothered by that shit? My man said he was like 50 Cent from the 1980s. Haitian Jack said when 50 Cent got to Rikers Island, he was getting his ass whooped. That's because he wasn't a part of no gang organization. King Von is a part of a gang. So when he go to jail, he might have support. But I'm telling you, them skinny niggas be getting their ass whooped in jail. Soon as them skinny niggas be getting their ass beat to death in jail. They gotta put the kufi on. They gotta put the kufi on. You can carry around as many as swords and razors as you want. If your ass only 125, 130 pounds, you ain't really no threat to nobody. You're not really no threat. And that nigga too skinny to be a fucking threat. He said some of the peoples in those pictures, they have bodies too, live by it, die by it. I agree. I agree. He said Vaughn was Muslim by Dirk. Them niggas ain't no fucking Muslims, yo. Niggas not no fucking Muslims. I ain't got no problem getting on here and say it. I say it in front of anybody. Niggas ain't no fucking Muslims. Not conducting themselves like that. All the murder and shit like that. Niggas not no fucking Muslims. Niggas think that you can kill because it says somewhere that, let me make sure I got it right. If you accept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as your Lord and Savior, you will be forgiven for certain deeds. Ain't that what they say? If you take Kalima Shahada, you'll be forgiven for your misdeeds. Somebody, Tafsir, Talim, somebody, footnotes, where y'all at? He said Arab going to the hellfire too. He's fuel for the hellfire. All deeds are wiped away. Is that how I go? Is that how I go? You can do all the killing you want, but then you go on to take a shahada and it goes away. Is that how I go? He said that's the Philly mindset. He said, damn, Gully, they going to hell. Most of Philadelphia is going to the hellfire. Niggas can go to, not just Philadelphia, but mainly them. Mainly them. Big Jersey, fire content, thank you. Ain't no killing, and you going to if you can kill somebody and then pray it up off you, what happens to the victim? What happens to their family? How are they? How are they? Help me out. He said, Gully said, AR going to hell. He is. He is. And like I said, niggas don't be. We seen AR Ab's bout game when he was fighting with Dean. AR Ab, he don't pose no threat to nobody. That's why these niggas be having a bunch of guns and army behind them and shit. AR Ab ain't whooping nobody ass in jail. AR Ab, where he at right now? That nigga running around with a beard, a kufi, and a Quran everywhere he go. I'm telling you. This is the truth. Niggas don't be raising no hell in jail. Somebody don't tell you. When speaking of uh, corrections and incarcerations, people don't talk about the peace. People don't talk about the peace. Everybody always talk about the exaggerated wars. They don't talk about the peace. You know what I mean by that? By the peace? It'd be a lot of peace in jail because niggas know what the fuck that they not supposed to be doing. Niggas know what you not the fuck supposed to be doing. So there's peace in jail. Niggas be saying, excuse me, thank you, pardon me. People don't talk about that part. They just act like it's a zoo all day long. It ain't like that. He said the hellfire, Kofi and all. He said people don't go to jail with that mess. Mm-mm. I was I was in the penitentiary with some notorious motherfuckers. They go sit their ass down. That shit with Blue Boy. Blue Boy wouldn't have been walking around with his chest out in Pennsylvania after that shit with Larry Davis. You did what? He said a lot of dudes admit to the manners in prison. Niggas have great manners and become religious. Niggas get behind a wall and become real religious but be the devil in the streets. Yeah. He said if you bump somebody, you gonna say my fault, brother, with some class. Charleston White said all black men need at least 15 years in prison. That's crazy. A lot of people turn good guys in prison. You could turn a good guy on the street. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get the notifications. Um, King Von had to leave Earth in the physical. He was a very, very terrible influence for the whole America. His views, his thought process was public, and it tainted people. It destroyed lives. His philosophies, the shit that came out of his mouth, the shit that he put on Twitter, he had to be stopped. He did. It's on Trap Lord Ross. Um, I heard that some people had a problem with Trap Lord Ross putting out that content, talking about he was defaming King Von's name. How the fuck can you defame a nigga like this name? All he talk about is murder on Twitter all day. He said, you got that manners in prison or it's going to cost you your life. Believe that. The man told y'all he was a demon. Did you watch the full 3 hours? Yes, I did. Did Von have a mother? An independent woman raised him. What do that mean? What do that mean? He got 40-plus-year-old men like Queens Flip calling each other gang. Trap Lord Ross is a vulture. Why you say that? I think he's highly skilled at what he does. His family plans to sue. They think it will tank the case. Sue for what? Sue for what? It's public information. He said that white boy killed that documentary. Very professional. It means exactly what was said. Was his father there or not? It's many a niggas who was raised without their father that didn't turn into serial killers and shit. Cancers to society. Vaughn, old man, and them was some real dudes. His Vaughn's father got killed in 2005. He left a rotten seed here. My man said my dad wasn't around. I wasn't killing people. He said y'all called Trap Lord Ross a vulture. Why no black journalists bother doing it? That shit was too long, number one. It took a lot of research. That shit took a lot of work, trust me. Mines wasn't there either, but I had uncles that kept us in check. Vaughn was doomed from the get-go. His pops was a bully and got sniped at the skating ring. Why the killer of his race a real dude? They seem to think that it's cool. Hassan Campbell mentioned all of that though. I think a lot of people was in the dark about it until the documentary. I was just hearing bits and pieces of it, but I kept hearing people always talking about Vaughn, 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 Vaughn. And I said to myself, why they always talking about this nigga? He can't even rap. Then I listened to his music and I'm like, okay, he can rap. It's the shit he rapping about. It's the shit that he rapping about. You would think someone in a high place would say, you can't put this out. We can't assist you in putting this out. They made money off of that and people died. People died, children died, Mo3 died, people all over the place died, Nipsey Hussle died. I think Demon Time is like saying gang gang. Unknown random YouTubers made thousands covering his killings as well as other Chicago beefs. I find this very, very strange that they monetize. They censor certain topics, but they monetize. How could they even monetize that type of content? I don't understand it. Not if they gonna flag people for profanity. Nobody could tell me nothing at that age either. What is a real dude? Being street, selling drugs, going to prison. Sound like a loser to me. Setting yourself back years, literally, we glorify the wrong things. Record labels have always looked to monetize black genocide music. Academics doesn't exist without Chirac. He went on to establish himself beyond that. We got to understand the importance of a father's love and structure. Is his family still living? I know his father's dead. Is his mother still living? Is his mother still living? Gully, look up life insurance that gets cashed out when they get murdered. So you implying that it's probably a hustle to sign the most destructive rapper around, sign him, put him under life insurance and just wait for him to get killed. Dribble God Elite, Tavarius Russell, thank you. Shout out to everybody who got memberships. Y'all been catching that exclusive content. Enjoy. Everybody who are part of the community channel, if you're a member, y'all been getting them exclusive pictures and shit like that. Buy them memberships, it's worth it. They will shadow ban people talking about Jesus, but allow people to talk about death and destruction. Yeah. Shout out to Nas Escobar. Pillmatic. I said Pillmatic. Illmatic came out 29 years ago today. Why did Lil Wayne say, bitch, I love Lucy? Somebody tell me where I can. The documentary is on Trap Lord Ross's channel. It's 3 hours long. You gonna go to sleep, wake back up. That nigga still gonna be doing devilish shit. It's just too much, man, and they real young. Order up. That whole label got a curse. Y and Berry Melly on that label too. FBG Cash got smoked with a neighborhood affiliated with Vaughn. Pretty soon you're gonna have to have a license to have a kid if you're not a productive citizen. Go to the website and get them, fam. They around. Will we get more knowledge to pirate? I just uploaded a 2-part installment with him. He talked about how he was signed to Teddy Riley and how he bought weed from Easy E back in the day. Dope interview, knowledge to pirate. Check him out. TheRealDribble.com. The new generation is bloodthirsty from a young age. They've been desensitized. I agree with you. King Von was the poster child for desensitized children, for psychopathic children. I could imagine how many people this nigga affected, man. He was big, big, big under our noses. Under our noses. I don't think it was ever a rapper that influential. I don't think it was a rapper that influential like that. I don't. I don't. What I mean by influential is people will act out based off of shit that they seen this nigga do. When Snoop Dogg came out with the Chronic, people wanted to smoke a little weed and shit. This nigga changed the world. He said, yeah, but Keith started it. Vaughn, Pooh Shiesty, Dirk, all them niggas belong in jail. All these little killer niggas belong in jail. They all King Von babies. They all been influenced by King Von. They all belong in prison. Put their little asses in jail so they gotta fight for their asshole. Put them in jail. Put them in the penitentiary. So they 130-pound asses got to fight for their booty. And that's what they deserve. Because they really think they savage. They need to be somewhere where there's some savagery going on. And they might want to change their lives. They might want to change their lives. He said, pause. Nah, ain't no pause. This is for real. Because this is what these niggas be faced with when they get there. You feel me? These niggas be acting like they out of their mind, savage, kamikaze. It's a place where that shit is tolerated and appreciated. Your barbarian lifestyle, it's appreciated. You feel me? They need to be where it's a nigga gonna be in your cell that you gotta fight against all night. Like what was dude from Boys in the Hood got killed by a celly and shit. They put the devil worshiping shit all over the cell. That's these niggas. That's what they need. That's what they need. Cause can't nobody stop them in the streets. Can't nobody stop them in the streets. That's the only thing that's gonna change them. Shit. He said until they have no choice but to live like animals. Yeah. He said Tupac called out the BDs and GDs. He said Chicago in general changed the rap game drastically. Beef is never over, it just becomes old beef. Dirk knows that. I remember you doing a video like this after Zach TV passed. I was misinformed when I did that video. I didn't know how extreme this shit was. That nigga Lul Tim did the world a favor bodying that nigga, man. I'm telling you. He had to go. He had to go. He was a bad dude, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And people need to know that when they get to jail, they cease all activities. They cease all this all this thuggery, this comic, they cease it. You know why? Because they get confined in institutions where it's 5,500 other retarded motherfuckers. You feel me? You might think you bad, and you know what? You might be bad, but you going a place where you gonna be locked behind bars with 4,500 other motherfuckers who bad than a motherfucker too. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? He said, third world countries laugh at the crime in Chicago. Cats from Chicago gonna last a day in the slums of Mexico. Don't nobody care about no Mexico, man. He said, all that aggression gets tempered down. Peace. He said, Lul Tim was just another King Von. Let's make this clear. These niggas is everywhere. I was saying that, man. I was locked up with a bunch of King Von type niggas, man. I swear to God, I was in the penitentiary with a bunch of them niggas, man. They be booked. Let me tell you how they do their time, right? They don't get no visits. Y'all ever notice niggas talk about being in the hole a lot? Box time. I was in a box. I was in the Southport box. I was in a box. You know why them niggas be in a box? You want to know why? Because they don't have nothing to live for. Ain't nobody coming to see them. Ain't nobody coming to see them. They not used to eating good. Them niggas not used to eating good. So it ain't nothing for them to go to the hole. You feel me? Where you gotta live by, they feeding you at 4 in the afternoon and shit like that. These niggas used to living under them circumstances in population. You know why? Because don't nobody send them no fucking money. So they be in population starving already. So they used to not eating and shit. You feel me? They don't have no problem fucking up somebody else's bed. I promise you. They don't have no problem fucking up somebody else's bed. And let me tell you what happens, right? You see them do like this. When they come in the institution, they be rigid. They be tough. They be tough. And then you start seeing them going through it. Going through the hole, gotta go to the hole, write-ups, not getting no visits, family start leaving them, can't afford to pay your legal fees and shit because you always in the hole. So you can't even pay the niggas to work for you in the law library and shit. These niggas have no future. You feel me? After doing all that killing, they go to jail and burn the fuck out. They get to jail, you will see the nigga. Now you on medication. You killed all these people. Now you walking around here slobbing. Are you serious? You killed all these fucking people and you walking around here with your beard this fucking long with all kind of lint and shit in your beard. Everything you ate from the cafeteria is on your jacket and you're slobbing now. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? You be like, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? You did all of that, and you got here, and you let these motherfuckers break you with a tablet. You let these motherfuckers break you with a tablet. One pill, a pill this big. Pill this big. Those who don't go out with the medication, they start fucking with blades and shit. You'll start seeing them like, what is it? Why is he walking around with him? They'll try to make it like they doing some legal work or something. Like he be typing up all my legal work. Nah, you starting to embrace that this is your reality, that you're never ever gonna get no pussy no more in life. So what you do, you thinking about trying a boy. That happens. That happens. I seen it. I seen it. I seen it. I seen it. Skinny me, them niggas like Skinny Me, Taz, that did Robbie Johnson from OBH, Taz. Skinny niggas be getting up. Soon as they go upstate, they be getting their ass whooped. Gotta turn Muslim. Have to turn Muslim. There's no other way around it. Gotta turn Muslim. They be too skinny. They be too skinny. They can't survive. He said that's spooky. The truth. He said Pappy Mason and Delroy Uzi broke. Yeah, they say Pappy Mason be covering himself with Dookie. These dudes be groupies for street niggas and killers be the same way bras be. Man up. I agree with you, man. They ain't here talking about Bond got busy in jail. Man, don't you know that nigga was under 200 pounds? Don't you know he was under 200 pounds? He don't stand a chance. He said they be in that med line slow as hell from the medications. I remember 50 Cent said Supreme was getting beat up in prison too. Yeah, 50 Cent said Supreme got his arm broke. I don't know how true that is, but Haitian Jack said that the real 50 Cent was getting his ass whooped on the regular. Said he was too little to defend himself. This is the truth. Change your lives. He said they end up with a L, a X, or a B in the back of their name. Some of them niggas that change their name still be fucking with boys. He said all the kites from the shooters be the same when you read them. Hold on. I got it. I got it. Let me recite to y'all a letter coming from a nigga that's doing from now on. Now on. Y'all ready? This is how it sounds. Yo, what up? Considering the present circumstances, man, blase, 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 gonna start talking a bunch of space shit. And then at the end, I'm 10 toes down till death do me part. Real niggas do this. Y'all know all of them fucking cliches they put at the bottom of the goddamn letter. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A soldier dies but one. I'm still 10 toes down. I'm gonna die on my sword. We know that. We already know that. That's the judge sent you down there for, to die. So we know that. You ain't saying nothing slick. That's they be saying. It's in case y'all want to know where that silly shit come from, that 10 toes down shit. That come from jail. That come from jail. You know why them niggas 10 toes down? They got holes in their shoes from walking around that track for decades at a time. Niggas be like, yeah, man, I'm 10 toes down. I know. You've been walking in them same boots for years. You ain't been to East Bay. Well, East Bay done retired now. Ain't no East Bay no more, but we know why you 10 toes down, motherfucker. You been walking this track for 30 years and shit. Oh, shit. He said hilarious. Y'all didn't, ain't y'all heard niggas say that to y'all? Gotta lace my boots up. We know. We know. Mm-hmm. He said steady be up Housedale, still doing laundry. Yeah. PA State boots all curled the fuck up. Spin in the yard for decades. Yeah, that's what happens to you when you go to prison and shit. You, especially in Pennsylvania, you there till you die. Let's talk about Meek now. Number one, Meek Mill wasn't never in no significant trouble. He went to fucking state prison for riding dirt bikes. He had a probation violation. The judge was trying to extort him or something like that. Whatever the case, he got sprung out of state prison, right? Ever since that dude sprung him from jail, the dude, Robert Kraft, this nigga been bunny hopping. And yesterday he went to a fucking parade for the Holocaust. Hashtag, I think it was Jewish Lives Matter or something like that. The fuck is going on here? He said he was in Chester, medium security. Yeah. The judge wanted him to do a gospel track and he refused. Meek could have been the go to Philly. I'm disappointed. He got that picture of him and Robert Kraft walking. He ain't got no jewelry on, no designer clothes. That nigga look bad, man. Meek, I don't advise you to keep taking pictures without your jewels and shit back. You better put your jewelry and shit back on, Meek. You better put your jewelry and shit back on, man. Go get your hair done, man. You almost blew your cover in them pictures, man. Nigga almost blew his cover in them pictures, man. He said he got buck broken. He just sold his crib to Ross. He looked scared. He said, hey, yo, them lifers be delusional as fuck, talking about when I go home. That's the most awkward feeling to have when you in jail and them niggas that got life start talking about when they get out. Man, I can't wait till I get out, man. You be like, you don't even want to look at them when they start saying that shit. Man, when I get out there, you be like, huh? When you get out, you got a Z code, fam. You got a Z code. Not only do you got life, but you can't even be in the cell with a motherfucker. You got a Z code. Ain't nothing up, man. He said awkward. It's very awkward. Imagine talking to somebody, right? And you start talking about the free world. And you forget this nigga ain't never getting out of jail. That's awkward in a motherfucker. Just start talking about getting some pussy or something. And it hits you, damn, this nigga ain't never getting out. I might be offending him right now. He said they be talking about dying when they say they getting out. He said they don't got Z codes anymore. How is that possible? They can't put just anybody in a cell with another person. Good evening, everybody. He said, where can I watch the Von Dog? Trap Lord Ross. He said, hell yeah. Like, let me shut up in here, man. Yeah, you gotta be mindful. You can't be talking about the free world with them niggas that got life, man. He says you must don't like Islam. What would make you say that? My name's Jamil Ali. Last I knew. He said the worst is when they say be home soon. Anyway, I got to get up off of here, man. I've been in here over an hour. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Super chatters, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all go to the website, therealdribble.com. He said, which the two letters your number started with? DF5973. I'll never forget it. Good night, me getting his kidneys massage. I don't know what to say about Meek. I know that I'm gonna leave y'all with this. King Von was a bad period. That was a very, very bad period. I believe my generation had crack. My generation had crack. That was the biggest detriment, probably. This generation, King Von, straight up. He says, sad reality. Anyway, I'm up out of here, man. Y'all have a wonderful night.